Good evening, my name is Afet on Skull Mountainstab with Alarm Copter.
Hello!
Standard rules apply. If you don't want to hear sounds of our voices, please go to the main menu, go to the mute button, which is an E with an X through it, and just select on the list. Both of us preferably if you don't want to hear us, because one side would be weird. Now, anyway, Manuel, what do you think of Mountainstab?
Yeah, it's a pretty damn good map, and like I said before, but no one heard, I think it's the only linear attack defend map in Scarl's rotation, which is pretty nice actually. I kind of wish they'd have a few more, but yeah, as it goes on those sort of maps, this is probably one of the best.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I kind of like the feel of it. I mean, we got taken out, shown out at the first Halloween games. I think no, it was the second one, wasn't it? Because they had the giant headless horseman.
Yeah, I think it was the second one. Yeah, I can't remember what the first Halloween one was.
That was Harvest, I think, with the ghost, which was a bit. Fun,
yes, yeah.
But anyway, look at the teams. Liking blue, they've got a nice bit of push going. Red, I think, may have a bit of a struggle ahead of them.
4, 3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think yeah. Looking at it, blue seem to be a lot more balanced, but some of the players on red, just what we saw last game, there was some pretty impressive playing going on there. So I'm not going to call it just yet.
Not just yet. The thing is, though, there's fast Scar straight in against the heavy. That's the thing here. As we've always said, it's like kind of a disclaimer. Actually, is that games may be won by skill only, which is pretty much what can happen sometimes. Basically, you get an entire team full of engineers just wielding sudden hospitalities and somehow win a game.
Although that said, I don't think anything can stand up to a full heavy rush.
Oh god, no! You have to prepare for that. But in any case, though, I mean, this is the thing, though. Now, the problem is if you have badly picked classes, is that actually what will happen is you've got a lot of fighting classes. If you're trying to use like scouts and spies and stuff, it's really hard to take them down, and that will just tell against you.
Yeah, especially considering, I mean, you know, blue have got the heavies there with the Hulong heaters. Yeah, spies aren't going to do too well against that, and yeah, blue are making really short work of the first point. That is a quick attack with a decent number of people on a point.
Yep. Oh, there goes nice Asher it there. They're not capping. You get back on there. The thing with that cap is actually, in my opinion, one of the slowest goddamn caps in the game.
Oh yeah, I mean, even the last point on this map, like, it's incredibly slow the entire way through. It's quite surprising.
In any case, though, I mean, 8 minutes on the clock, a good amount of time to get this done. Dark Virus, Ash is using the standard revolver. I do love those spies. Once Ash has used the good old revolver. I mean, a lot of people are like, nah, it's all the ambassador, man. I'm like, nah, if you get in a combat, derpy combat, revolver is going to give you 3-shot kills.
Yeah, I'd say for just like anybody, unless they sort of have the wherewithal to really practice with the Ambassador, which God knows I don't, there are so many better options. I mean, the Ambassador, much lower damage when you can't hit a headshot, and when you're in a sort of panic situation like that, your chances of a headshot go down so much, so it's almost not worth having at all.
Yeah, in any case, I mean, that's the thing. I mean, people go, when you've seen that Ambassador right there, Ambassador Spy came up, didn't lay the shots down. I mean, the other one I think that's really quite fun to use is Razorback. It's got the same penalty, but those guaranteed crits are really handy when you need them. Yeah,
I'd say that's probably my go-to one, just because it's a nice one, and it sort of has a really, one of the only weapons I think in the game that panders to a very particular type of playing style, which is actually playing spy as it should be done rather than dead ringing. It kind of works against dead ringing, which is nice to see, really.
Yeah, I know, it's very much the combat spy. I mean, it's not, you know, Master Spy can do anything, but a combat spy is what I personally am. Yeah, we love our revolvers. Personally, I love using the big kill because people go, oh my god, it's a big kill. And I love Sam and Max. I have all the items for that. But in any case, back to the game. I'm having a look. Red are actually doing a really good defense at the second point, actually. They're not letting blue get in.
Yeah, actually, it's seen really nice, actually, scout work from De Calibri. Don't usually see many scouts on this map, at least not defending, but I don't know, I've got quite a love of defense scout, and it's nice to see that being put into action.
Now, for me, defense scouts are a peculiar kind. They're very hard to use, and especially on the first point where they don't really have much leeway. Personally, when it gets to the second point, that's where the defense scout gets funny.
Yeah, it's very much sort of the hard counter to an attacking NG, pretty much. You know, NGs aren't really worth much on a first point because it's so close to the spawn anyway. But after you get past that, an attacking NG can really do some damage.
Yeah, they build up a teleporter on that, and then, you know, what happens? You get a scout round the back, shoot up the entrance teleporter really quickly, and that's it. You know, it's really hard to count that. Anyway, 5 minutes 36 into the game. I mean, this is the thing I'm thinking with Blue here. They're just not getting out of that kind of in-between area. They're not venturing out, really.
Yeah, I don't think so far. I don't think we've actually seen them make a single attack on the point. Yeah, I don't think there's been any cap time whatsoever, which is not good to see, to be honest.
Now, I think I'm seeing here. Listen. Well, we are seeing a medic somewhere, but I think actually he's playing a very good game because I haven't seen him yet, which means that, you know, there's a chance that he's probably built up something nice by now. But the thing is, though, they're having a hard time. Fast Scar trying to get in there.
I think, yeah, they definitely need to have an NG or an Uber thrown out there to actually get a move on. Even if it's just something like if they popped up a dispenser somewhere just around the corner or something, that could be so helpful. It, you know, lets people just pop out, do a bit of damage, pop back in, and you know, red are a lot more spread out than blue seem to be at the moment.
Yeah. But the thing I'm actually finding here. Oh, I'm very sorry. If you don't want to hear us, please go to the main menu, go to the mute button, and you can turn us off from there if you want. I mean, it's not too hard. I mean, it's a little ear with an X through it, and my name's a ferret and alarm copter. It's really easy to turn us off from there. Now, in any case, actually, what's in here is actually blue, and actually getting their way in now. Oh no! Fast Scar gets his revenge, double revenge. But that was Blue's best attack coming in there. I mean, pity they just didn't look behind them.
Yeah, pretty much. Just the fact that they managed to at least get into the point barn there. I think, yeah, that is the furthest they've gotten so far, pretty much. But it was nice to actually see a heavy and medic combo, which we don't actually tend to see that often, really.
Not too often. We're seeing a medic still running around, though. You know, stay out of fire, you know, literal fire in this case. But one thing I am seeing a lot in this game, a lot of spies, and they're not bad ones either. They're actually getting on with it.
Yeah, particularly Faster Scar and that Nuke Go Boom. They've been holding up a lot of the team, I think, actually. They've been taking out people before they actually managed to attack, which, you know, is something that's, you know, spies sorely need to learn to do. There's a lot of spies that just tend to wait until someone comes around the corner, but they're actually going on the proper defensive attack rather than chilling out and waiting, which is good to see. Yeah,
no, that's the thing. I mean, sometimes a good spy, in my opinion, is the one who waits for the best distraction. I mean, they're the ones I hate the most. I'm shooting this guy. Shoot, shoot, shoot. Oh, wait, over stab. Motherfucker. A Fanta 304 there. Now, that was it right there. He saw a Yuki, went to stab in the back, forgot to decloak in time, though.
Yeah, I think that was sort of a slightly unsure decloak, because I think I did see him sort of half decloak and recloak again. He probably would have had that kill if he had just gone for it, I reckon. There's something to be said for just jumping in and giving it a good shot.
Yeah, I think the other thing with Spy is actually, people kind of forget, don't just decloak in the middle of nowhere, because that will just give you away to an experienced player. Actually just decloaking off somewhere nearby and then just appearing can actually be really good.
Yeah, especially if you can decloak like somewhere near like a teleporter exit, something like that. That works really, really nicely because your team will suspect you less. And if you've got clever teammates, I mean, it's something I always like to employ, and I don't think a lot of people opt for it, is have your team shoot at you when you're a spy. That works so, so well.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing a lot of spies forget to do, which is acting. A lot of spies actually about acting. I mean, like, don't be a class that's not where it's supposed to be. Like, don't play an engineer at the front of the defensive line because you're not supposed to be there. But anyway, kind of getting back to the game, Blue are making progress, of sorts. They're tentatively getting in there. Their medics, though, it hasn't really managed to pop an Uber yet.
Yeah, I don't think we've actually seen a single one from either side, but they do seem to have, yeah, well, I mean, they're on the point now, and they kind of have managed to get themselves around that corner. They kind of occupied that area a little bit more.
It's Chuck Norris doing the best he can. Okay, I think Blue might have a toe hold here. A little bit, they need to get in there. This is that point in the game where you base throw, skid out the window, and just go for sheer bravery. It's 47 seconds on the clock. You ought to get in there now. But look at the red team. You know, they're defending like champions. Actually, doing really well of just being in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I think something that possibly isn't helping is Blue Snow. They're opting for the quick fix, which in this map there's not that much. You know, it's not that far a distance, so there's no real benefit in my eyes to using the quick fix over a standard Uber.
Yeah, it's something I would like to educate people. I mean, a lot of weapons in TF2 are side grades. They're not necessarily upgrades. The quick fix isn't the best medigun. I mean, Jose, the medigun is the best medigun. You say it's the Kritzkrieg. We have personal differences on that, but we both respect the other. But anyway, that was an excellently played game from Red there. They pretty much just stalled Blue for most of the game. Okay, round 2. Teams have been switched. Let's see what's going on. Well, okay, looking from Red team, they've got some defensiveness going there. And Blue team, really balanced looking.
Yeah, and at the moment, Blue team have got the slight advantage of 2 more players, or in fact 3 more players, but no doubt we'll see that evened out in the meantime. But yeah, I'm saying Blue's probably got the better layout so far.
The problem is also the skill. I would say Blue was the more skilled team from that last game. Perhaps maybe what needs to happen before the end of the game is a good old scramble. You know, maybe get things a bit more evened out.
Mission begins in 30.
Absolutely. Although looking at it, I think perhaps a couple of players were scrambled. I don't believe Chuck Norris and That Nuke Go Boom were on the same team last time round.
Yeah,
so
no, I think they did just change team. Slight gaze of inquiry there as to what happened. You know what you did. Now, in any case, let's see how this game goes. Doors open. One cheeky red medic fires a shot. And there is Spy Stefano being a scout so well. I think he's using power of lag to make sure he doesn't get hit. Oh, Blue Snow, what did you do? Why did you have an Uber and not be with anybody? Oh no, I'm sorry, but in terms of dropping the ball in tier 2, that's a big one. I mean, if you have an Uber, you need to use it or stick with a guy. I mean, maybe he had the Uber sword, maybe he was late out, I'm not entirely sure, but yeah, don't wander off alone, especially on a defensive line.
yeah, I'd say particularly on this map as well, where it is very, very cornering, you can get sort of picked out at any given moment. I mean, it depends on where you are on a map. Certain maps, it may actually be quicker to just suicide and go back to spawn, but in that case, yeah, he definitely left himself out in the open when he could have been running back and healing the team.
Yep, nah, yeah. Look at Blue though, I mean, is that an engineer? Oh, wow, that's speed right there. As I say, some of the best engineers are the fast ones. Ooh, Phantom Hero saves fast Scar up there. Now that's the point where you should have whipped up the revolver. I don't know what it is. Today has been so much about spies at the moment. And Blue team though, just capping nicely on that point.
Yeah, to be honest, I'm not really sure where Red are. We're seeing maybe 2 or 3 players at any given moment, and the rest seem to be... They seem to be quite resigned to the fate that the first point is going to be capped, and they seem to have just opted for hanging around at point 2, waiting for everybody to show up, which, yeah, I don't know if I can advocate for that tactic.
It's tricky because I've seen like a player before on Gold Rush, and he said, I'm going up for point 2. I said, yeah, but why do you do that? You're not helping your team. Well, I don't want my stuff to get taken out instantly. We then probably take point 2, move up to his area, take out instantly anyway. You really do need to be with the team, that's the thing. And then he blamed it that team stacked, which could be like teams are stacked is kind of a new I have lag kind of reason.
Yeah, I think in a way it goes back to the old morale topic that we tend to sort of mention once in a while. It really depends on where an NG is, and I think players don't like to go away from like a teleporter or a dispenser. So in that side of things, a lot of the responsibility relies on NGs choosing their placement correctly, keeping the team at the correct front line.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, the amount of times I've seen playing Gold Rush, like an NG build teleport straight to the attic, and like, where am I? I'm not where I need to be. This is great and all, but this isn't helping that well. But yeah, you know, morale is a subject we do need to come back to every now and then again. I mean, right now though, I mean, Red is looking a little bit demoralised. They're trying to hold something. It's not going well.
Our control point is being captured.
I think I have a graphics glitch here. The Calibri is teaming on.
He is on blue.
He is on blue. Okay, you're just standing next to a soldier, and neither of them are shooting each other. Is there the colour glitch again? In any case, though, 6 minutes 41, and you know, blue are getting on with that.
Yeah, again, we're not really seeing Red actually make a decent effort to attack. I'm not really sure what it is they're doing. They seem to have just, you know, completely opted for fall back and hope we win next point, which, I don't know, that's never the way to play the game in my opinion.
Yeah, I have a bad feeling we're seeing the 60 presence of basically hoping the engineers and sentries win the game for us. Oh, wow, your Pandature there gets Damitard. That was a bit noob in progress. Nice intercept. I was watching those guys thinking, when they're going to Uber, when they're going to Uber, when they're going to Uber, and these guys just comes and spades them. Oh, that was tragic. But now, I think it's the last point. Now, one thing I do find with this map is actually, this is where a blue team can really suffer with that proper teleporter support.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of good areas that blue can choose as well. I mean, particularly, I personally find sort of the, I guess you'd call it right-hand side from blue's point of view of the last point. Not a lot of action goes on in there. That is a prime spot, in my opinion, for a good telly.
Oh, what, the room off to the right, or the left at the point, if you come out of red spawn?
Yeah, left coming from red spawn, that side there, that's sort of my go-to option.
Yeah, that's not bad. Actually, if you can get right on top of that, if you can get in there and stay in there, that's great. I mean, the top room's pretty good as well, but that is like a known area, and people will go wandering up there to take you out. But if you get level 3 teleport and they're going to go to sentry, that's pretty much game lost for red. I mean, to be fair, that's why red are holding it right now. They know it's a decisive area to hold. To be fair, that is such a hard place to get to. That little narrow doorway is just Demo Man heaven. Yeah,
actually, this map is designed really nicely for Demo Men to just go all out, and Pyros as well, just for the corners side of things. But yeah, Demo Man, sticky traps here and there works really, really nicely here.
Yeah, also the Flodge Pyros love cramped spaces. Oh, nuke that goes boom, takes out Confederates and drugs. Opportunistic sniping that. Can blue get in there? Oh, it's looking good though. I think they have broken in. Oh, and fast scar there. What's happening downstairs? Yeah, I think he took out. I think he took the NG nest. Good on him. I think it's looking good. You know, brown trousers time for red here. They've lost upstairs. They've lost a sentry. It's not looking good. There goes another sentry. Oh dear, this is looking all kinds of bad.
Yeah, I don't think red are really going to have a lot of time to recover from this. Blue have been on the game the entire time, and they're moving up really, really nicely. And really doing some excellent spy work as well.
Oh, Dark Virus. I just saw that, like, I'm a heavy, I'm going to totally win this. Oh, fuck. Fast car just gets Dusker Gaming there. AFK. Just never be AFK outside spawn. You will get stabbed. You're in a bad neighbourhood. Dark Virus tries jumping off, ends up in the reactor. But I think red are mounting one last desperate defense right now. But they've got 7 minutes to do it in. It's not looking good.
Yeah, that's another sentry down again. Red have got a real hard time keeping those sentries up. Yeah, this looks all over for red, to be honest.
El Marlo, they're going for the bravest engineer option. But look at that mini he's put down. That's terrifying. It's just right up there. Anytime they come out, just blam 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 blam. But however, it is wasting a lot of bullets, and actually being on the point itself doesn't allow you hit it. And good old-fashioned spy cap for the win.